work people are used to this.
Yeah, for sure. Are we in it?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, so I don't know if this is the best answer because I'm not sure whether I can say that I was really afraid of it, but definitely before going to Afghanistan, it's a trip that took a lot of preparation. A lot of research went into this trip, and it was kind of like a nightmare trying to figure out the logistics of how to get there, etc. So as I was on my way to Afghanistan after getting the visa and everything, again, I wasn't afraid because I was really prepared, but it definitely felt like we're stepping into the unknown. And it's a country where no matter how much research you do about the country, you can always expect something to not go as expected. So yeah, I would say like that was the time where I really felt like I didn't necessarily lose control of what I was doing, but it could have went one way or the other due to other external factors that I don't have control over.
Yeah, the unknown in that is a big factor. And
Yeah.
I think, with travel, there's a lot of times, I think any of us that travel the world get asked often, do you feel safe there? And that's a country that the answer, I think, pretty much is going to be not pretty confidently like, yeah, go travel there.
Yeah,
like, yeah,
exactly.
Absolutely. It's like Paris. Like, go have fun. Like,
Yeah.
there's a lot to be, a lot of weight in that decision. And so I'm sure there's a lot of unknown and a lot of lack of control.
For sure. And I need to be careful every time, like how I answer questions, and depending on how the question is asked, because sometimes some of the questions can be very similar, but depending on the wording, if someone asks me, do you recommend Afghanistan or is it safe to go to Afghanistan, my answer is not quite going to be the same.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah,
It's,
that's fair. There's a clarification there that I think is valuable to have.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing. Would you say there's a moment in your life that changed you or taught you something?
I would say this is not like one specific moment, but I grew up playing a lot of sports, football specifically. You might call it soccer. I had European football. And yeah, just like being very into football and like playing it almost every single day. And at some point, like in my life, considering going professional in football, like it did teach me a lot of like resilience and hard work and having to work with the people who are around you. So for me, like sports and football in particular was really much like the school of life for me, to learn how to live and work through hardships, to never give up, to work with people around you, to work as a team. And yeah, I would say that is something that shaped my mentality nowadays.
Team sports alone, I think a way of doing that I don't think anything else does. Like having to be on a team together, having to work together, having the same goal, but also being so individualized in that, like needing to take care of yourself, needing to be able to do something in that, and perform, and knowing other people rely on you. That's really cool. Yeah, I think we have as a listener base, is probably pretty mixed. So football, American football, and European soccer. Yeah, we're all like, everybody's like, okay, we know the difference. But
the sport you play with your foot and the ball.
Yeah, I think it should be called football everywhere as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that works. I think so. You've known me for like maybe a cumulative of less than like 6 hours, maybe.
Right.
But what is something you think you and I have in common? Maybe in what?
Well, probably the interest in listening to stories that are unique. I like to tell stories that are unique, but that came from the fact that I've been listening to other people who have like unique stories and who have something interesting to tell. So yeah, I think perhaps like the reason why I'm here like on this podcast is because I had a unique story to tell, and you were keen on listening to that unique story.
Very much so. Yeah, and thank you. Appreciate your willingness to share your story as well.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Yeah. What is something you are looking forward to?
At this point in my life, I feel like I had a career change. I had a career change over the past like 2 years, jumping into photography and doing social media. And so far it's been pretty amazing being able to experience stuff that I would normally not have access to, or experience stuff that I wouldn't pay my own money with. So yeah, I'm really much looking forward to just like exploring where I can bring this. I guess I'm also in my career kind of stepping on into the unknown because I don't know what's going to happen in the next couple of years. I don't know whether social media, photography, the landscape of all that industry is going to stay the same. So I'm looking forward to like seeing where this journey brings me. Who knows? Maybe it's going to bring me to yet another amazing travel experience all around the world.
I like that desire to just stay within what's not going to see what comes. And yeah, that's got to be a big change from going from being like be in front of star in sports to behind the scenes in some regards, but still presenting.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, I used to work in sports for this team called Paris Saint-Germain in Paris. It's the biggest team in Paris. It's the biggest team in France. I think it's the biggest sporting institution in France and one of the biggest in Europe. And so yes, I did have the chance to meet like some of the superstars players out there. Interestingly, I've also thanks to social media been able to meet a lot of amazing people. So yeah, it's both have given me their fair share of amazing experiences.
That's cool. Yeah, I think when you stay open to just connecting with people and seeing where it takes you, you get some cool opportunities either way. So that's
For sure.
On the other end of that, what is something you wish was over already or maybe didn't exist in the world today?
Racism, probably. Yeah, that's a big one for me. Just because I'm a third culture kid. I was born in the United States. My dad is French. My mom is Japanese. I lived in the U.S., in Hong Kong, in South Korea, in China, in Japan, Singapore, France, UK. Like I lived all over the world. So throughout that, even going through the French education system, going to French international school, there was a lot of people from all over the world. And so for me, like having this fortune of being able to like grow up around a large group of diverse people of different religion and learning about the whole world was amazing. But then realizing that not the whole world has like the same perception about certain people. They're quick to jump to conclusion just because they don't have the same exposure that I have. I wish racism is a thing that didn't exist, but sadly it exists. So hopefully, through me sharing some stuff through social media and sharing a lot of stories, I will be able to teach, about different cultures, different people, and make people realize that there's more good than bad in this world.
Yeah, very much agree with that. Yeah, one of the reasons I'm grateful to have you sitting here just as another amazing human being to share that and hopefully let people see that we're people at our core, at our soul, who we are, and nothing to do with the value based off what we're doing on the outside. So appreciate that very much. What would you say makes you feel known and valued?
Wow, you're putting me on the spot.
Sorry, you can take it.
Well, I just like to be nice in general to people, and I'm just trying to give the best out of myself and like always give back to people and always willing to say yes. So I'm hoping that people see me as someone who's like easygoing, who is not complicated, who doesn't look for drama in life or anything like that. I'm just someone who is always like willing to help, willing to say yes to new stuff, and hopefully people value that.
As one person in the world of many, I would say that is my experience with you, and I do appreciate that. So thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so you've mentioned about 8 different countries you've lived in, and being born here in New York City, but where do you call home? And what makes it home to you?
Good question. I don't really have a hometown. I like to say that I'm homeless because I don't have a home really. I've never lived in a country for more than 5 years in a row. So it's been a lot like moving back and forth and changing different countries, which I don't mind because ultimately it gave me an amazing life experience. So I don't really have a home, but I would say New York, Tokyo, Paris are probably the 3 places where I somewhat feel the most at home, or I feel like I'm in my territory in a way where I can navigate through the city and I know it like the back of my hand. So yeah, those 3 cities are kind of like home for me.
Yeah, it's cool. There's always like the really awesome things you gain from that, but the complications that come from it as
Yeah,
well.
for sure. Having to say goodbye to all my friends every couple of years, that's
yeah,
not easy.
that's hard.
But then at the same time, I get amazing experiences. I meet people from all over the world. So it's it's a little bit of a balance.
And you've chosen to see the good in that and take that from that, at least
Yeah.
at this point in your life, which I really do believe is a choice. I think people go through a lot of things. And oh, I'm stuck here and I got moved around and I can't make friends, and you've just chosen to make more.
Yeah,
or
for
connect
sure.
more and
Yeah,
value
I try to
more.
see the more positive and beautiful side of a lot of different stuff.
It's there. Yeah, very much so. That's cool. What is something you wish you didn't struggle with?
Well, these are the most complicated questions that I've ever
He's like,
been
I'm
asked.
really regretting saying yes to this. I'm sorry. You're good.
What's something that I wish I didn't struggle with?
If there's any that you're just like, nope, not answering that, you're allowed to pass too. Don't feel like you're like, feel comfortable responding. That's allowed.
No, I think it's a very good question because I'm having a hard time finding an answer to that question. Because I feel like I did have a few struggles in my life, just like anyone else. Because it's very human to have some ups and downs and some struggles. But I don't think I particularly have anything that stands out that's really like, that was a huge struggle in my life. Because like, say for example, when I was growing up in like secondary school, high school, like I'm a short guy, and like when you grow up in like primary school, like you get bullied maybe if you're the